Faith is beautiful. But real faith is not proven when life is easy. It is proven when life burns. Faith is not a decoration we wear to look spiritual. It is the fireproof armor we cling to when everything else falls apart. You do not know what you truly believe until your belief is all you have left. God does not test your faith to destroy it. He tests it to strengthen it, to expose what is weak, and to reveal what is real. James chapter 1 says, "Consider it pure joy when you face trials, because the testing of your faith produces perseverance." That means the fire has a purpose. The pain has a process. And the silence is not without meaning. So today we are not just talking about belief. We are talking about battle. Not just what you say you trust, but what you hold on to. When the storm does not pass. When the prayer is not answered. When the breakthrough does not come. Because that is where faith is tested. You are watching Grace and Truth. Let us begin. There is a kind of faith that only exists in theory. The kind that sounds good on Sunday, but disappears by Monday morning. It quotes verses, sings songs, lifts hands in worship. But when life breaks, it breaks too. Because faith that is never tested is just an idea, not a conviction. You cannot know what is truly inside your heart until pressure squeezes it out. God allows our faith to be tested, not to shame us, but to show us where we are still afraid, where we still rely on control, where we still trust comfort more than Christ. Testing is not a sign of divine anger. It is a tool of divine refinement. God already knows where your faith is weak. The test is not for him. It is for you. Because when the storm hits, and your belief holds, you will finally see that it was not theory. It was truth. Abraham was promised a son. And then God asked him to lay that son on the altar. Do you think that made sense? No. But the test revealed the trust. God did not want Isaac to die. He wanted Abraham to see that nothing, not even the promise, was more important than the promiser. Sometimes God allows you to lose what you love. Not because he is cruel, but because he wants to show you that he is enough. Faith that has never bled will never carry healing. Faith that has never been torn cannot be trusted in battle. You can memorize scripture and still collapse if your faith is built on feelings, not fire. That is why God tests it. So when the time comes, you will not fall. Fire does not invent weakness. It exposes it. Fire does not create cracks. It reveals them. And in the same way, tests of faith do not make you unstable. They show where you were never fully standing. You do not truly know how much fear is in you until the lights go out. You do not know how shallow your roots are until the storm comes. Fire reveals what words cannot. Fire does not lie. It reveals pride that was hiding behind religious behavior. It reveals control that was disguised as strategy. It reveals insecurity that looked like confidence. And that is a gift. Because God is not interested in surface strength. He wants real substance. A faith that holds when you are disappointed. A faith that stays when prayers are not answered. A faith that bends but does not break. Let us look at Peter. Before the cross, he said, "Lord, I will never deny you. Even if I have to die, I will stand with you." That was bold. That was loud. That was full of passion. But it was not yet full of fire. Then came the night. The arrest. The pressure. And Peter denied him. 3 times. Was Peter a liar? No. He just had not yet seen what was still hiding inside of him. But Jesus knew. And he let it happen. Not to shame Peter, but to prepare him. Because the same Peter, who failed in the fire, would later preach with fire. On the day of Pentecost, failure revealed what was there. But grace rebuilt it into something greater. Your test is showing you something. It is showing you where your faith still rests in people, in plans, in routines, in comfort. It is showing you that you may still trust the gift more than the giver. And that is not to condemn you. It is to invite you deeper. God does not reveal weakness to crush you. He reveals it so He can heal it. He does not expose idols to embarrass you. He does it so He can remove them and make room for something eternal. So if you feel like the test is breaking you, take heart. Maybe it is not breaking you. Maybe it is just breaking the false things that were never strong enough to hold you anyway. Because what survives the fire is real. What comes through the test is refined. Do not fear the fire. Let it do its work. Because what remains will be pure, will be strong, will be holy. God has a calling for your life, a purpose, a weight of glory that you are meant to carry. But He will not place power on shoulders that have never known pressure. He will not place authority on hearts that have never been humbled. Before God releases influence, He refines integrity. Before He gives you the mic, He gives you the fire. Because power in the hands of the untested can destroy more than it builds. Look at Joseph. He had a dream, a vision from God, that one day he would lead, that one day others would bow. But before the throne came the pit, the slavery, the betrayal, the prison. 13 years of silence. 13 years of obscurity. 13 years of tests. Why? Because the dream was real. But the heart needed refining. God had to burn out the pride, the immaturity, the need to prove Himself, so that when Joseph finally stood in power, he would not use it to get revenge, but to bring redemption. Genesis chapter 50 verse 20. You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good, to save many lives. That is the voice of someone who has been through the fire and come out full of grace. So let me ask you, do you want to be trusted by God? Do you want to carry something eternal? Do you want to be used in ways that transform lives? Then your faith must be tested. Because God does not just anoint gifts. He anoints character. And character is forged in fire. Tested faith is dangerous to the enemy, to fear, to doubt. Because tested faith is not shaken by circumstances. It is not moved by emotion. It is not impressed by praise. It is rooted in truth. God cannot build eternal things on untested ground. So if you are in a season of pressure, pain, silence, stretching, maybe, just maybe, you are being prepared for something greater. Not punished. Prepared. Not set aside. Set apart. Not forgotten. But refined. Because only tested faith can be trusted with fire. And trusted with favor. and trusted with the kind of authority that builds the kingdom, not your name. So do not run from the testing. Lean into it. God is not trying to destroy your faith. He is trying to deepen it. Because what He is building in you will be stronger than the storm, stronger than the fire, and stronger than anything the world can throw at you. Only tested faith can carry the weight of glory. His name was Matthew. And for most of his life, he believed in God. But he believed more in himself. He was what people called a builder, a doer, a man who made things happen. He built his own business from the ground up, started with nothing. And by his late 30s, he had what most people only dreamed of: a home with more rooms than he could count, 2 luxury cars, a wife, 2 children, and respect in every circle he entered. He tithed. He went to church on Sundays. He even sponsored missionaries. But in his heart, he did not depend on God. He depended on his ability to control, to lead, to succeed. Until one day, the phone call came. It started with a lawsuit. A former partner, someone he once trusted, twisting the truth, dragging his name into the mud. He thought it would pass. That truth would win. But it did not. Within months, his accounts were frozen. His investors left. The contracts vanished. The empire he built in 15 years collapsed in less than 1. And then came the second wave. His wife, already distant for years, filed for divorce. She took the children, the house, the savings. He went from boardroom meetings to sleeping in a friend's basement, from tailored suits to clothes that no longer fit his body. Because he barely ate. He cried. But not to God. He cried to the void, to the dark, to the ceiling that stared back in silence. He said, "I gave to the church. I followed the rules. Why is this happening?" But there was no answer. Not yet. Then, the sickness came. One morning, he woke up and could not feel the left side of his body. A stroke, caused by stress. The doctors said. He was 39. He sat in that hospital bed, alone, hooked to machines, hands shaking, heart broken. And that was when he began to whisper, "God, are you still there?" It was not loud. It was not eloquent. But it was honest. And for the first time, in a long time, it was real. The hospital was quiet. Too quiet for a man who once lived in noise. Meetings, deadlines, phone calls, decisions. Now, just beeping machines, footsteps in the hallway, and the slow hum of waiting. Matthew spent 7 days there. And something strange began to happen. The silence did not feel empty anymore. It felt full. Like someone else was in the room. Even if he could not see him. He started reading a Bible. One someone left in the drawer. At first, it was just something to do. But then, he landed on the book of Job. And it felt like the page was reading him. Job lost everything. His wealth, his family, his health. And still, he said, "Though he slay me, yet will I trust him." Matthew closed the book. Eyes wet, hands shaking. He whispered again, "God, if you are real, if you are still there, Then take this broken life and do something with it. Because I have nothing left. There was no voice from heaven. No thunder. No vision. But there was peace. And he had not felt peace in years. After discharge, he did not go back to the boardroom. There was no company left. He went to a small church near his apartment. Not the big church he used to donate to. This one had no lights. No stage. Just people. Real people. Worshipping with broken voices and open hearts. He sat in the back row. Afraid. Ashamed. Weak. But when the music began, he cried. Not because the song was perfect, but because the Spirit was present. And something in him broke. Or maybe something in him finally healed. That was the beginning. Not of success, but of surrender. He started volunteering. Helping fix chairs. Cleaning floors. No title. No microphone. Just him. And the God he used to keep at arm's length. He met a man there. A retired pastor. Who took him under his wing. Week after week. They sat together. Talked. Prayed. Cried. And slowly, Matthew began to realize. What was taken from him was never his foundation. It was just the scaffolding. God had removed everything. Not to ruin him, but to reveal him. It has been 7 years since the empire fell. Matthew no longer lives in a mansion. He rents a small house with a leaky faucet and creaky floors. But when he walks through the door, there is peace. There is laughter. There is God. He now leads a small group for men. Men who have lost. Men who have failed. Men who feel forgotten. And every week, he reminds them that faith is not built in success. It is built in surrender. He tells them, I used to think faith was about climbing. Now I know. It is about kneeling. He works at a local nonprofit, helping others rebuild their lives. Not from a place of status, but from a place of scars. He prays with strangers, buys coffee for the homeless, hugs without needing to be thanked. And when people ask him, do you ever miss your old life? He smiles and says, I miss the illusion, but I do not miss being lost. I used to build things that looked strong, but crumbled in the fire. Now I build what only fire can make stronger. They ask, do you still believe in God after everything? And he answers, no. I do not just believe. I know. Because I met him. Not in the boardroom. Not in the blessing. But in the basement. In the hospital. In the silence. When everyone left, he stayed. When everything collapsed, he held me. When I had no prayers left, he prayed for me. So yes, I believe. But not because life is easy. I believe because he was faithful, even when I was not. Now, when Matthew sees storms, he does not panic. When prayers go unanswered, he does not quit. Because he knows that faith, real faith, is not proven when life is smooth. It is proven when life burns. And what he lost cannot compare to what he found. He did not just find God. He found himself. The one God always saw. Underneath the masks. The pride. The control. So if you are listening to this, And you feel like your life is on fire. Like everything is being stripped away. Like the silence is too loud to bear. Remember this. Fire does not mean you are forgotten. It means you are being formed. What is burning away may be the things that were never meant to stay. And what remains will be holy, will be strong, will be real. Because God is still in the fire. Just ask Matthew. There is something about pain that peels back the layers. Something about pressure that shows us who we really are. Trials do not invent weakness. They reveal it. They do not create fear. They expose it. When everything is going well, it is easy to believe you are strong. You are faithful. You are patient. You are loving. But when life squeezes you, what is truly inside comes out. That is not punishment. That is grace. Because you cannot heal what you do not see. Your trial is not just about what is happening around you. It is about what God is exposing inside you. Not to shame you, but to transform you. Maybe you never realized how much your identity was tied to your success until you lost the job. Maybe you never knew how easily anger controls you until someone betrayed you. Maybe you thought you had forgiven until you saw them again, and the bitterness still burned. Your trial is not random. It is precise. It is targeted. It is surgical. Because God is not only working through your circumstances, He is working in your character. The fire outside is meant to ignite change inside. In 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 7, it says, "These trials have come, so that the proven genuineness of your faith, of greater worth than gold, may result in praise, glory, and honor when Jesus is revealed." That means your trial is not for destruction, but for definition. To define who you are, what you believe, and who you trust. Some of us believe in control until control is gone. Some believe in comfort until it is taken. Some believe in faith until it gets hard. And that is when the real faith rises or falls. So ask yourself, what is this trial showing me? What fear is surfacing? What idol is trembling? What lie is being exposed? Because this is not just about survival. It is about surrender. The fire is not there to destroy your faith. It is there to reveal what your faith has been built upon. Trials do not just expose fear. They also uncover what you really believe about God. Do you believe He is only good when life is good? Do you trust Him only when He gives? Or do you trust Him when He takes? That is where deep faith is born. Not in the giving, but in the taking. Faith is not built in the blessing. It is built in the breaking. Job said, "Shall we accept good from God and not trouble?" David said, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For you are with me." Their words were not written in comfort. They were written in chaos. What comes out of your mouth when everything is falling apart? That is where your real theology lives. Not in your notes. Not in your highlight marks. But in your reactions. Your thoughts. Your choices. When the pain shows up, do you run? Do you curse? Do you manipulate? Do you isolate? Or do you fall to your knees? Do you whisper, "God, I still trust you, even here"? That is what the fire reveals. It does not just expose wounds. It exposes worship. Who or what have you really been worshiping? God Or the idea of a life that goes your way? His presence? Or His gifts? When the gifts are gone, is He still enough? Your trial is showing you if Jesus is Savior, or just a supplement. Do you come to Him as Lord, or as an insurance policy? Because faith that only works when life works is not faith. It is a transaction. God, I will trust you if you heal, if you fix, if you open the door. But real faith says, even if you do not, I still trust you. Even if it does not change, you are still worthy. Even if I never understand, you are still God. That kind of faith cannot be faked. It is forged. So let me ask you, what is your trial revealing in you right now? What truth is rising? What lie is being destroyed? What part of your heart is God gently uncovering? Not to condemn, but to cleanse. Maybe this trial is not about what is being taken, but about what is being offered. The chance to go deeper. To know God not just as the one who blesses, but as the one who holds you when the blessings disappear. To know Him not just as the God of Sunday, but the God of Monday night at 2 a.m. when tears fall and answers do not come. This trial may be revealing the places where you still perform, still strive, still try to earn His love. And God is saying, stop. Rest. Let me be enough. This pain might be unearthing pride, self-reliance, bitterness, or even buried grief. Let it come. Let it surface. Let the Spirit walk you through it. Because what He reveals, He always heals. And what He exposes, He always covers with grace. This trial is not your enemy. It might be your greatest invitation. An invitation to deeper surrender, deeper faith, deeper freedom. Because when the fire is over, what will remain will be stronger, purer, more alive than ever before. So do not waste this moment. Do not numb it. Do not run from it. Do not explain it away. Ask the Holy Spirit, what are you showing me? What are you forming in me? What are you freeing me from? Let the fire do its work. Not just around you, but in you. Because what it reveals is what God wants to redeem. And what is being stripped away may be the thing that was holding you back from who you truly are. Let the testing be a turning. Let the fire be a doorway. Let the pain be a path to the presence of God, like you have never known before. He is not trying to break you. He is trying to build you. Not the you the world wants, but the you He created. The one that reflects His image, His strength, His love. So when the test comes, when the storm rises, when the answers do not, look deeper. Look inward. Look upward. Because this trial is showing you something. And God is speaking through the fire. Let me speak to the one who is still in the middle of the fire. You are still waiting, still praying, still hurting. The story has not turned yet. The healing has not come. The door has not opened. And you wonder, how do I trust when nothing is changing? The answer: you trust. Not because of what you see, but because of who He is. Faith is not a feeling. It is a choice. A choice to believe when there is no sign. A choice to keep walking when the road is unclear. A choice to worship when your heart is heavy. Anyone can believe when the victory is visible. But true trust is forged in the in-between. When God is quiet. When the answers are slow. When the pain still lingers. That is where real trust begins. Trust is not denying the pain. It is holding the pain. And still saying, God, I believe you are good. Even here. Even now. Even if. That kind of trust is not loud. It is steady. It whispers in the dark. God, I cannot see you. But I choose you. I do not understand. But I surrender. Do not wait for the fire to end. To start trusting. Trust in the fire. Because that is where God is most at work. Not after the storm. But during it. In the furnace. With the tears. In the silence. With the ache. He is there. Not always removing the fire. But always standing in it with you. Just like he stood with Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego. Not before the fire. Not after the fire. But in the fire. They trusted. Before the rescue. They said, even if he does not, we will not bow. That is the kind of faith that moves heaven. So I ask you, not are you strong enough, but are you willing? Are you willing to trust when your heart still aches? Are you willing to say yes when you have no guarantee? Are you willing to keep walking when you do not know how far? Because that is where faith becomes holy. Not just belief, but obedience. Not just knowledge, but surrender. And that kind of trust changes everything. It changes how you pray. No longer just for outcomes, but for presence. It changes how you worship. No longer just when life is good, but because He is still God. It changes how you walk through pain. Not as a victim, but as a vessel. Because you trust that this fire is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of something eternal. God is not asking you to fix everything. He is asking you to trust Him in everything. So here is your invitation. Right now, where you are, pause. Breathe. Whisper if you have to. God, I trust you. I do not understand. But I choose you. Even here. Even now. Even if. And that whisper, that small act of trust, is worship. The kind that shakes darkness. The kind that pleases heaven. Trust is not about having all the answers. It is about knowing the one who does. And He is with you. Still. Closer than ever. Refining. Holding. Working. Loving. Even in the fire. So do not wait to be delivered. Before you decide to trust. Trust now. In the middle. In the silence. In the ache. In the ashes. And you will find He is still faithful. Still good. Still God. And one day, you will look back and say, that fire did not destroy me. It revealed me. And God was with me. Every step. If you are still walking through the fire, still waiting, still hurting, still hoping, this is for you. You are not weak. Because you are tired. You are not faithless. Because you are struggling. You are not alone. Because it is quiet. You are in the place where real faith is formed. Faith that is not about outcomes, but about intimacy. Faith that does not collapse in the storm, but grows deeper in it. Faith that says, even if I do not understand, even if I never see the full picture, I will still believe. Because God is not asking you to be perfect. He is asking you to be present, to stay near, to stay honest, to keep your eyes on Him, even when they are filled with tears. So breathe. Let go of what you cannot fix. Let go of what you cannot explain. And hold on to the one who holds you. This season will not last forever, but the faith it produces will outlive every fire. You may not have all the answers, but you have the one who is the answer. And He is not finished. Not with your story. Not with your calling. Not with your healing. So keep walking. Keep trusting. Keep surrendering. Let the fire purify, but never consume. Let the silence deepen, but never define. And when the dust settles, when the light returns, you will not just be standing. You will be transformed, tested, refined, anchored. And that is a faith that nothing can take away. If this message spoke to your heart, do not just scroll away. Pause. Reflect. Ask God, what are you saying to me through this? And if you feel led, share your story in the comments. Tell us what you are walking through. Or simply say, pray for me. I need strength. I need faith. This is not just a video. It is a space for the broken, the waiting, the faithful, and the fearful. You are not alone. We are walking together through the fire, toward the light. And if you know someone who is struggling, send this to them. Let them know God is not silent. He is just working deeper. This is Grace and Truth. Not just a channel, but a place to rest, to rebuild, to believe again. So leave a comment. Start a conversation. Let your pain become someone else's encouragement. And until next time, stay grounded in grace and walk boldly in truth.